Alright, hey guys, today we're doing a new tutorial in After Effects, and I'll be going over how to do some really quick and efficient masking. And I know masking is one of the most difficult and boring things that editors have to spend hours of their time doing, and cutting out clips frame by frame can be very boring and very annoying. So today I'll be showing you some very efficient and quick tips to be masking a lot faster. And one thing I did want to mention is that if AMV editors and just editors in general would share their masking, it would be so much more easier and a lot better for the community. And I know I am working on a Your Name edit right now, so after I am done with the AMV, I'll be posting all of the masking so that you guys won't have to go through the Your Name and mask everything out. You guys can use some of those masks, and hopefully it reduces the time you spend on your projects, because it is very time consuming, and it is a waste of time if someone else has already masked something and you're going to spend another 2 hours to mask the same scene. So it is a nice gesture. I will be posting all the masks that I do, so that will be coming out. The Your Name edit will be coming out pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. So I am just going to grab an image right here and drag it into After Effects. So the first thing you should do whenever you have any scene in After Effects that you want to be masking out is look if you can take a shortcut. So for example, if I were to mask out Shrek right here, oops. If I do mask out Shrek right here, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at the background. You're going to see, is it a solid color? Because if it is, it makes your life a whole lot easier. There are 3 plugins that you can use mainly. If it's a black or white background, you should type in Luma and grab Luma Key. Just drop it into your clip. Then you just have to hit, depending if it's black or if it's a white background. Because it's white, we're going to hit Key Out Brighter. And then just pull up the threshold until we see what we want. And just like that, you're going to pull up the threshold, and then you're just going to pull up the edge feather so it smooths it out a little bit. And you've just saved a ton of time by taking that shortcut and using the Luma key instead of trying to mask it out. So in the other case, if you have something, let's say it's a green background. Let's say you have a green background instead, or maybe a blue background or anything like that. The other two you would be looking at are key light. Oh, I forgot the space. Alright, so you're going to be using key light. This is a great one for green and blue screens. You just select this screen color tool right here. What do you want to cut out? And just like that, it'll cut out the color for you. So this is if you have a blue or green screen. Another one that is useful is linear color key. So this one is again similar to key light. It'll work better in different scenarios, but you can save a lot of time by using these instead of actually trying to mask out every single frame. So if you are trying to take a shortcut and you find that, well, the background is mixed colors, maybe it's a building or something like that, and it's too difficult to mask out, then you have 2 options in After Effects. You have the pen tool at the top, or you have the Roto brush tool. So the Roto brush tool is a lot easier, but the thing is, it will not make as clean of a mask as you will get with a pen tool, but pen tool does take a lot more time. So I would suggest that you guys use Roto brush tool unless you really want a clean mask, or it's something very simple like just a square or a simple star or a simple shape like that. Then you may want to use the pen tool. Alright, so let's say we are doing this Shrek mask and we're going to try using the pen tool. The way that we would do this is simply select the pen tool, keep your hand on the H button. So when you press down H and move around, this will allow you to slide. And also on your mouse, you should be able to zoom in and out using the scroll function. So with your key on the hand button and moving it around, I'll quickly show you how to mask it out. You're just going to select a point like that, move to the next one. If there is a curve or something like that, simply grab the point and then lead to where you want your next point to be. So just like that. And when you think about it, masking does not have to be super precise, so do not spend a lot of time. It can take hours and hours of your time if you try to do a super professional mask. Again, I'm just pointing where I want the next point to be, where I want the next point. Just like that, constantly pressing the hand button as I readjust it. So H on my keyboard. I'm gonna pull that out. And I'm just gonna go a little bit faster. Again, don't worry if it's too precise while you're masking, because there is a feather tool that's gonna help you out a ton. Oops. So if you do go back to add a point or select a point like that, just make sure you go right back to the first point when you continue adding points, because otherwise it'll create a separate mask, and that's not what you're looking for. So anyway, just keep leading to the next point with your and keep using the hand button to adjust it. You can zoom in and out if you really want. And just practice does make perfect, so the more time you do spend masking, the quicker and better you will get at it. And there you go, we have cut it out. There's just a conflict with the mask, so we're gonna have to cut this one and shut it off. Alright, so there we go, we have masked it. You can see it is a little bit rough, so what you do want to do most of the time, if not always, is go into mask feather and pull this up. This is just gonna smooth out your mask, just like that. And just like that, you can mask it very easily with the pen tool if you want to track it, and I do not recommend tracking with the pen tool. It's very, very difficult and very, very time consuming. But if you do want to track with the pen tool, you're going to hit the mask path button. You're going to go to the next frame, and let's say Shrek walks that direction. The shortcuts are usually just double clicking and sliding it across, and then with whatever points you want to adjust, you would double click off, slide, maybe we want this whole half to move forward, and you would adjust it like that, and you would see the animation through the frames. Anyway, that is not the main way that you will be using your pen tool. Mostly it's just going to be for solid frames like this or an image. But if you do want to track, the easiest way, especially for any anime footage, I would highly recommend using the Roto brush tool. So what people don't realize is Roto brush tool must be used in a composition that has the same frame rate. So often you're going to get this notification that your frames are, the frame of the composition needs to be changed to match the frame of the source. So if that ever happens, just right click on your footage, you're going to pre-compose it. So hit that pre-compose button right here. I'm going to call this mask practice. I'm going to move all attributes into the new composition and stay right here, select your Roto brush tool, and now double click on this. So make sure you follow these steps. You pre-compose it, then you select the Roto brush tool, and now you're going to double click your pre-composition. This will open you up into an editor like so, and what's really nice about this is it automatically will match your frame rate and you won't have to worry about that. So we do have a mask on this. I'm going to head out and I'm going to delete the mask. 1 second. Let me just get rid of this. So again, back into the Roto brush. Now we're going to double click this. It'll automatically correct our layer. And let's say we wanted to mask this character now. What's really nice about the Roto brush tool is it will try to track it for you and you won't have to spend as much time. So I would recommend using the smallest brush possible. So this is if you want to look at brushes, it should be over here, brushes like that. And if you can't find it, you would go into window and select brushes from here. And I would recommend using the smallest brush, especially on anime clips. And you're just going to select it over like this. It'll try to automatically trace it. And you see it does a fairly good job of selecting what you want to be tracked, and it does it based on the colors you're selecting and the nearby colors that it can find. At the beginning you just want it to get general. You see that went way over. So again, my hand will be on the H button most of the time, but you do want to shift over to the Alt button. So you see when I press down Alt, it turns red. And what this means is if I select anything now, it will be cut out. So anything you don't want, you're going to hit the Alt button and you're going to cut out like that. And you see it does a very, very good job cutting out exactly what you want. So right here, we want to cut this out. We're going to press Alt. You see that it turns red. Let me switch it to a higher brush so you guys can see. I'm going to select down like that, just like a paint tool, and just cut that out. Again, you do not need to be overly precise with this. After you're done, just go back out. So you can see that it is a little bit rough on the edges. The feather is what we need to pull up. Similar to masking, we're just going to crank that up. Makes your footage and your masking look a lot nicer and cleaner. And again, if you're going through here and if this ever gets selected and you can't see the footage, just select this right here. I know this does happen sometimes. So toggle alpha boundary. So you can always click and deselect this if you want to see how it looks now that it has been masked. It has been masked out. And yeah, these were just some quick tips and tricks for quick and efficient masking in After Effects. I know it is a huge pain to be masking, especially anime clips where the pixels are small and you have to zoom in a lot. Can be very, very time consuming. Again, I will be posting my Your Name AMV very, very soon. Let me just rename this. I will be posting my Your Name edit very, very soon, so stay tuned. I have tons more content. I have tons of more content coming out, so thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below, and I'll see you soon.